This is satellite communication system, a miniature model of satellite communication system. So you can see this sender from Earth sends a signal to the satellite. This is a satellite, this mirror kind of thing. And from this satellite, the message will come back to the receiver on Earth. So this is basically to explain how a communication system works. Satellite communication system works. Because any message travels on a straight line. So from here, this will go to in a straight line will hit the satellite, and from satellite in a straight line it will hit the receiver on Earth again. This signal, because of this signal, that light will glow. So we'll send a signal to the satellite. With this torch light, we are sending the signal to the satellite, and from satellite you can see the signal goes to the receiver on Earth, and the light glows. When you switch off the signal, you can see the light is switched off. As we switch on the light on Earth also glows. So this is to explain how satellite communication works. How the receiver from on Earth receives the signal from the satellite.
Or 4, you know the concept of repeated addition as multiplication, right?
Yeah.
Repeated addition as a multiplication. Same thing is goes same here. Okay, so like if you multiply, if you added this by 4 times. Okay, so first you need to count how many cubes are there in each of this square. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16, right? So there are 16 cubes are there, right? 16 plus again another 16, this one, plus again this 16, okay, plus and another 16 is there, right? Okay, so when you add them all together, then that means you will get the 64. Okay, so that means when you that means the cube number of 4 is
The cube number 64.
yes, so the cube number 4 is 64, right? Because when you look, okay, so this one is the cube 4 centimeter, right? 1 2 3 4 centimeter, 1 2 3 4 centimeter, but it is in a length and breadth. That means it's not a cube, right? So you need to make it a cube. Okay, so for that what you have to do is you need to add another cube, right?
This is to demonstrate the process of electroplating. Electroplating is a process which you use to coat one metal by other metal. It is used for coating of jewelry. Sometimes coating is required for safety purposes also. So to do that, what we have done, we have put water in this beaker and put copper sulfate. You can see this copper sulfate, we have put it inside this water in order to make the electric flow within it. And this we have here, if you see, this iron nail is there and the copper is there. So we have made cathode and anode with copper and iron nails. So once we put this iron nail and copper inside this beaker, let's see what happens. We have put battery beside it so that it is electrically charged. Now see, we have putting that copper in and iron nail. Let us see what happens. It takes 2-3 minutes in order to happen. So our idea is to coat the nails with copper, so that to demonstrate the electroplating process. So we'll just take it out and see what is there any changes. So you can see the chemical change happening because of the bubbles are being formed. So chemical reaction is happening, and this ionic substances are getting broken down and moving respectively. Now we can see, I think it must be happening. You can see this iron nail becoming blue in color. It has changed its color. You can see both it has become change color. So a plating has been deposited on the iron nail. Plating of copper. So copper plating has been done on the iron nail.
What are some of your favorite moments of handling snakes and crocodiles throughout your career?
I could be described as a very lucky puppy, having spent much of my life in this beautiful and sometimes surreal country of India. Almost 3 years on the island of New Guinea, months in the depths of Borneo, Mozambique, Costa Rica, the American Southeast and Southwest, and always in pursuit of fantastic reptiles. One of the most decisive moments in my life was finding my first king cobra at Agumbe, where we've just set up India's first rainforest research station. I'll never forget the feeling of facing that magnificent 12-foot-long snake all by my lonesome and the somewhat crazy maneuvers that it took to get it into a bag. Similarly, there are hundreds of fond and exciting memories of hunting rattlers in the hills of Arizona, moccasins in the Florida swamps, and saw-scaled vipers in the Rajasthan desert.
Scared.
Okay, so you've heard the interview. Now let's start with the exercise. Okay, number 1. Ron Whittaker had been interested in snakes since his childhood. Is it true or false?
True.
Yes, that's true. What about Ron Whittaker's mother discouraged his interest? Did she discourage his interest?
False.
That's false. Yes, she did not discourage his interest.
She made a
The snake
terrarium for the snake. The mother made the
Yes.
terrarium.
Okay.
This is a hydraulic jack. This is to explain the concept of force. You see, when we are applying force here, the jack is moving. This is a small kit to explain Pascal's law. You can see this is a hydraulic jack. So it's a miniature model of a hydraulic jack. This hydraulic jack is used in, you must have seen in garages and all the car and other vehicles are lifted using this. So this is a small model for that. We're seeing when we are applying force, it is moving up. So it basically explains the Pascal law. Pascal law is like pressure is equal to force by area. So you can see, and suppose if we want to increase the pressure, we have to either increase the force, we have to take a bigger syringe, or we have to decrease the area where this force is applied. Both ways, like if you increase the force or decrease the area where it is hitting, both ways we can increase the pressure. If you want to raise it to higher level, we have to increase the force or decrease the area on the point where the force is hitting. This is how Pascal law can be explained, and this same law is also applied in these propellers. Like here this is this propels thing in the space, like the propeller in the space stations, which propels the rockets into the space. So this is a miniature model of propeller where when you apply force, this can be propelled in the atmosphere. So this is a miniature model for that.
Like this. When you find out like this, you can get like something like that. Yes, Lalita, that one. You got it. Okay. So now that means this fabric. Okay, so this fabric is made up of this loose piece of thread. Okay, so this is called yarn. Right? So this is yarn. So that means this fabric is made up of this yarn. Okay, now what about this yarn?
This is made up of fibers.
Okay, so now
This is a miniature model of a projector. You can see we are using a torch light to focus through the film. It hits the screen, and there is a lens in between, which is focusing on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, and you can see that there is a R film in the film. There is a R written. You can see the inverted image of R on the screen. It passes through the lens and hits the screen. Now we'll change the image. Now there is a arrow. There is a cross. You can see that in the film and the inverted image on the screen. Now we'll change it. Now this is a plane on the film and this inverted image of the plane on the screen. You see how it passes through the lens and makes the inverted image of plane on the screen.